T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Let's get ready to sucker!
Diamonds in my teeth, I got a lot of shine. Running up the number, that's a lot of crime. Try to take it from me, must be out your mind. I'm big time, lot of sun. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Pockets running over with the dollar sign. Try to take it from me, yeah. Big time, big time, big time, big time. Running up the numbers, that's a lot of crime. Try to take it from me, must be out your mind. Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of crime. Just running over with the dollar signs. Try to take it from me. Big time. I got a lot of shine. Running up the numbers, that's a lot of grind. Try to take it from me, must be out your mind. I'm big time, lot of shine. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Pockets running over with the dollar sign. Try to take it from me, from me, from me, from me. Big time, number 9. Got it in my teeth, I got a lot of shine. Running up the numbers, that's a lot of grind. Try and take it from me, must be out your mind.
Fix that.
And welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, inside the Ysn Power Hour for Tuesday, October 26th, 2021. What's going on with Rob?
What's up?
You froze.
Any.
Yeah.
Got your arm.
Yeah. We always
anyway.
It's going to be a talking arm.
You can hear him. It'd be like Alf or Max Headroom. It is National Pumpkin Day, gentlemen. And with less than a week to go before the Hallows Eve, my question to you on National Pumpkin Day is, what's your go-to on pumpkins? Is it, do you paint? Do you carve? And what are you a scary pumpkin guy, or do you just not do pumpkins at all? Which I'm just going to guess is the case for the Canfield guy down in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. Quinn, go ahead and start us off because we know where this is going.
Yeah, I don't do no pumpkins. I don't carve them. I don't do anything like that. I eat them. Pumpkin rolls. I'll eat them all the time. That's about it. I don't carve them. Nah. I'm too old for that now. I don't have kids or anything like that, so I have no reason to do it. And, you know, if my sister wants to carve them, then she can do that on her own.
What's your favorite pumpkin thing? Is it pumpkin roll?
Favorite pumpkin thing?
Yeah, like pumpkin item.
Pumpkin roll, 100%.
Okay. Rob, how about you? Are you a pumpkin guy?
I mean, I will. I'm not going to be the guy that runs out and buys them and says, "Hey, let's carve some pumpkins." But if I come home and she wants to carve something, I'll do it. But it's definitely not my idea.
Okay, respect. And what's your favorite pumpkin item?
I'm gonna say it's got to be. I mean, I should be plugging her pumpkin rolls because she's getting ready to sell them. But seriously, I'm gonna say a pumpkin pie with like the entire thing of whipped cream on it. That's not a joke. Yeah, I mean literally the entire thing.
Now, are you whipped cream or Cool Whip? Because there's two different teams on this.
It doesn't matter to me. It could be either one. Either one is fine.
Okay, respect.
I'll never eat pumpkin pie by itself though. But give me a whole thing of whipped cream or Cool Whip. We're good.
I can do pumpkin pie. What's the pistachio pie? What's the nut pie that people have during like Thanksgiving? I can't even think of it. It's disgusting. I hate it.
Pecan.
Ugh. No. I'll eat grass. Months. What about you? Pumpkin Day. What's your go-to? I mean, you got the girls, so you guys carve up, right?
We don't carve them. Because that's just a little too messy. So when we do get pumpkins, we haven't gotten them at the new house yet. We did them at the old place and let them sit there till they rot. But we painted them. They definitely like to paint them, and it was fun. And put them outside and let them, just rot till you threw them across the street in the woods. So, but my pumpkin pie is my favorite, and absolutely it's Cool Whip.
Cool Whip.
Cool Whip. As Stewie likes to say. So yeah, Cool Whip for sure. And I got to get in on these pumpkin rolls, Rob. So get Barb to hook me up.
I got you.
Free plug, man. Here it is. You have millions of people out there watching.
I mean, at this point, I don't think she is actually a fan of me plugging anything. Because I actually tried. I tried sharing this on not just my timeline, but one of the Struthers Block Watch pages yesterday. She's like, I don't know these people. I was like, well, geez, I mean, what, you either want to sell them or not? But she gets rid of so many now. She honestly doesn't need it unless they're planning on opening up a temporary restaurant sometimes.
Is she the pumpkin roll Nazi? No roll for
I
you.
would say, I mean, she can be if you let her. Sometimes, I mean, I'm not going to pretend like I have any say so on anything. So, her and her mom go at it, though. The amount of materials, the amount of time, but they do pretty good. So
I like it. I'm gonna go. See, we typically carve pumpkins. I like the pumpkin seeds, so that's what I
cook them up.
Yeah, we cook them up, and it's usually just a little bit of. I think it's salt and something else, oil maybe that Sarah does. Love them. Big fan. Big fan. That time of year, you watch like. I'm a Ghostbuster guy. Ghostbusters this time of year is constant for me. She watches Hibbity Dibbity or Hocus Pocus or whatever the hell that's called.
It's Hocus Pocus because it's on our TV every single day. That's not an exaggeration either.
With the three witches.
That movie. Yeah, I can't. I don't know. It doesn't do anything for me. But Ghostbusters, I can get down on some Ghostbusters. Because I ain't afraid of no ghost. Actually, I am, which is why I wanted to be a Ghostbuster when I was little and just evaporate them all. But as far as pumpkin items, my wife just discovered pumpkin pancakes, and I got to tell you, it is the best thing. She makes a great pumpkin roll, Rob. I'm sure they're similar recipes, but the pumpkin pancakes are a zillion times better than any pumpkin thing I've ever had. So, but you do have to load them up with whipped cream because that's where it's at. So. Happy National Pumpkin Day to everybody. Hope you get your PSLs and enjoy if you're out there and you're leading that simple life. But in our world, we have some interesting things to talk about today. Sigler's saying, pretty sure Hocus Pocus created the Hallmark Channel. Awful. Respect. Quinn, I remember meeting you for the first time at the White House.
Sure.
Like the actual White House or like White House Fruit Farm?
Right, White House Fruit Farms. I've never been to the actual White House.
It's because you're not allowed. I want to talk about this. I want to lead off with this because, guys, this is bananas. Check this out. Is this an even trade? When you look at this, Tom Brady threw his 600th touchdown on Sunday, and the ball was actually given to a fan in the end zone. Okay, the fan got this in return for that ball back. 2 signed jerseys and a helmet from Tom Brady. 1 signed Mike Evans jersey and game cleats. $1,000 to the team store down in Tampa Bay. 2 season tickets for the 2021 and 2022 seasons, and 1 Bitcoin. Now, Paul, I know you don't get down on Bitcoin, but
Yeah.
1 Bitcoin is worth $62,000 right now.
Okay.
Is that? I mean, what would it take to pry that ball out of your hands?
I mean, it's funny because I tuned in last night after I got home from the soccer game and was watching the Mannings, and I went back and watched a little bit of them when they were talking with Tom Brady, and Manning hit it right on the head. The guy lost all leverage when he gave the ball back. Like, you hold on to that ball. Like, the security should have came and escorted you out of your seat. Come on down here, come down. I mean, because whenever you've seen something like a home run baseball in a game or anything like that guy, that person has that death grip on the ball, and they're being escorted by security out, to go to that, secret room that they have inside the stadium so that you can negotiate your things. He just was like, oh, here you go. Yeah. And the guy's like, all right, we'll come back and get you something. They could have just left that dude hanging, and he would have been like, he could have just talked crap on him. But at the same time, like, so what? He should have held on to the ball. Like, no, I'll go with you. Where are we going to go? Like, I want to meet Tom. And I imagine there was probably a big photo op, and he was sitting in a room, and Tom came in, and they shook hands, and he handed him the ball. But I mean, that's. I was talking with Quinn about this last night. That's a record that probably is never going to get approached again, if not broken, ever. And like, that's $1 million ball. Like,
well, it's actually, if they said that if they sold Monday, it could have went for $500,000 to $750,000.
Okay.
If he sold it the next Monday.
There'll be somebody out there that would probably pay $1 million for that. Some collector out there who's a Tom Brady guru would pay $1 million for that ball. But then you got to start asking yourself, is it going to the Hall of Fame where everybody can enjoy it? Or is it going to go to Tom Brady and he's going to put it on a shelf and him and Giselle will look at it?
If it's Tom Brady, you got to automatically assume that this thing is going to end up in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He even said he doesn't collect balls, like footballs, all like that, things like that. But this is a big one. So if Tom Brady has access to that ball now, which clearly he does, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bet that ball does sit in Canton.
Well, in about 3 weeks, we'll get ball number 700, the way he's throwing touchdowns. So, I mean, It's not going to take much longer for Tom Brady to eclipse the 700 mark the way this is going. I mean, the dude's going to play football till he's 85. So,
yeah.
And he's only getting
better. I probably would have sold it for the money. I think I might have sold it for the money. I mean, all those other things are nice and fancy, and you can hang up and print frame. But hey, if I'm going to get $750,000 like that, who knows what that could have done to that guy's family? Help him out.
Dude, I think I'm okay with that trade. I mean, $62,000 plus all the Tom Brady swag, plus Mike Evans, plus you get 2 tickets to the. I mean. Listen.
It was like a scratch off. I mean, yes. Mike Evans literally just hands you the ball, not really thinking, because if he was thinking, that would have never happened.
Yeah.
So this guy really did just get lucky as all hell. Yeah. And then Tampa Bay, as clearly as decent as an organization as they are, and I think everybody could agree right now after watching, not just because of what Tom Brady, how he's come down, but the coaching and everything like that. It just seems like a great organization, period. They come to this guy, and basically, I'm going to total this up real quick, and I'm just guessing because I don't know what the value of the jerseys are. I want to say we're at, correct me if I'm wrong, if you guys agree, I'm going to say probably right under $80,000-$85,000.
Would you
pretty close?
Jerseys?
I don't know. I don't know what the value of those jerseys are. I'm just giving them $5,000 to $10,000 down the road. Not today or tomorrow either.
25 to 3,000.
25 to 30.
Did you see this one?
It's probably over $100,000 worth of stuff. If the Bitcoin's worth 63,000 by itself, he gets two seats, and
I forgot about the season tickets. I didn't even total those up. So actually, we're about $100,000 for this guy being at the right place at the right time, and Mike Evans making a mistake. So Tampa did not have to go anywhere near what they did for this guy. They could have left it at the jerseys. They could have left it at season tickets, and that could have been it. And this guy probably would have been happy as hell. They gave him basically an extra $70,000. Saying, hey, we appreciate you giving the ball back. They didn't have to do that.
No, they could have been like, hey, that's property NFL. Because if you look on the back of your ticket, boys, guess what? That's not your property. That is the NFL's property. They can take all those balls back the same way they do in the OHSAA, the same way they do it at games at Scene Park. The ball belongs on the field. That is not your property. MLB gives them away as what? As you come to the game, you can get a souvenir for free if you catch a foul ball.
Yeah.
That's how they get you to come. I would have to say I think it'll be in Canton. I think it is in Canton. I would have took the Bitcoin and a date with Tom's wife.
Well, the guy, if you watch the video, supposedly the guy kind of joked about it, said, I'd like a date with Giselle. And the guy's like, well, we'll see what we can do. And he walked away.
Could you see Tom Brady chasing that helicopter? What did I do this for? I'm Tom Brady and I just gave up Giselle. I mean, come on. Jesus.
I think I'll admit I was a huge hater of Tom Brady when he first started. Huge hater. Like, love the story when he actually first started over Drew Bledsoe. And then you grow to hate that guy. But then you realize he's special. Then you realize there's something about this guy. He doesn't do much in the way of anything wrong. Like, I can't imagine a cleaner past of what this guy's done. And he stays out of, for the most part, stays out of political problems. He stays out of issues, and keeps his nose clean for the most part. And what he did on Sunday and what he continues to do and how he continues to be a beacon of light in the hope of people. The kid that had brain cancer and basically said that Tom Brady helped me fight brain cancer, and Tom went over and he gave him a hat and a high five or whatever. Like, that's the kind of stuff that sports and celebrity status should be used for. And it's crazy that it's the few that we get to focus on that do that. You know what I mean? Because that's not cookie cutter in the NFL, and I think we can all agree to that. That's special. That's very special. And you look at a guy like Tom Brady, who has thrown for 600 touchdowns, has the most passing yards in the history of the game, has the most Super Bowls in the history of the game, has more Super Bowls by himself than any franchise ever has. This guy does not have to go out of his way to make people feel special, but he does. And if you've ever watched an interview with Tom Brady, including last night, the authenticity that he just gives off, he's got to be a robot, right? Have we figured this out? Like, he's a cyborg.
Well,
I think the majority of us can.
Go ahead, Rob.
Go ahead. All I was going to say is that the majority of the hatred for Tom Brady really did come out of Pittsburgh to jump. That's really where a majority of the hatred did start. And it almost became cool to hate on Tom Brady. Myself, I've always been a Browns fan. I've actually always liked to watch and see what the Patriots do year in and year out with different receivers and things like that. The more hate he got, the bigger of a fan I was. When he was going down to Tampa Bay to get another ring, I was cheering just as loud as the Patriots fans were. So I've always loved Tom Brady in that regard. And the story started from the 6th round pick, and he's winning Super Bowls, and just in general as a genuine person. He had some hiccups at supposedly the beginning of his first relationship or whatever. The things he's done with his family since, and everything for the sport of football, just basically being one of the best role models you could be, while being literally the best player that's ever played this game. You guys can argue that all you want. He is by far the best football player that's ever played in the NFL. That's my opinion. You guys can have yours. But just to see him keep doing this, and not only, keep doing all these things for everybody around the league, the kids and everything, but like you're saying, robot status. I mean, the guy's, 45 years old. He looks like he's about 32, and he's probably going to be in the league for like another 3 or 4 years, which is crazy. So,
did you see if you don't like Tom Brady, I can't help last night?
I did.
There's a picture of Peyton, who was obviously enshrined in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and he's got the gold jacket on, and he is sweating like all the way down to his belly button, full of sweat. And Tom Brady's just standing there with his arm wrapped around him, cool as a cucumber. I'm sitting there, I'm like, the dude doesn't sweat. He doesn't. He's a robot. He's Data from freaking Star Trek.
Yeah, I mean, there's only a handful of guys, like not only in the NFL, but like in sports that you can go and you think about. Like off the top of my head, obviously Tom Brady, one of those guys. He's a superstar on the field. Off the field, you don't hear anything about him. You don't hear bad stuff. Derek Jeter was another one of those guys.
Yep.
You know, everybody can hate on the Yankees, but you never heard about Derek Jeter, anything off the field with him, whether it was, him going to bars or doing anything crazy. Like, you never heard stuff. Wayne Gretzky. Never really heard a lot of bad stuff about Wayne Gretzky either, like in hockey. But, like, there's very few guys that are like that. And when you have them and you get to see them, like for us, like our generation right now, we should relish this. Like, you're watching a guy who you're probably never going to see something like this ever again. Realistically. I
was just going to say, Jordan, the things that Jordan's even done, as popular and as billionaire as that man is, to stay out of the BS that goes around with professional sports.
Yeah. I wanted to say Jordan too, but like, I don't know if anybody was going to chime in there because a lot of people want to talk about his gambling issues that he had and some other crap like that. I mean, listen, if it's legal, you can gamble. What's the big deal?
If you want to go to the golf course and bet $100,000 a hole because you're Michael Jordan, who the hell am I to say Michael Jordan has a gambling problem? He has that much money he can still do that with, so God bless him.
Yeah.
All right. The question here is, how many more years do you guys think Tom will play? That's a good
4.
question.
I really think 3 or 4 myself.
He's 44 right now. You think he's playing until he's 48?
I think Tom Brady, looking at how he plays the game, let's just look at how he's played the game since he's left New England, coming down to Tampa Bay, and not only changing his diet, his workout regimens. It's almost like, how when I used to work out, you used to change your programs every 6 to 8 weeks to trick your muscles and keep growing or whatever. This guy's doing it with life in general. He's changing everything up. He's tricking Father Time. The guy is in his middle 40s, and if you look at him play, I mean, go watch his game next week. Watch how he plays this game. Me personally, I think he has, I'm going to say at least top 4 years.
What does this have anything to do with Tom Brady being a bad guy?
He kisses his kids on the lips. You didn't hear? You don't remember him catching all kinds of crap for that a couple years ago, was it? I mean, I kissed my kids on the lips until they said, "Hey, bro, what are you doing?"
Yeah, what's the deal here?
Come on, jeez.
This one says he's the Babe Ruth of modern day NFL.
I don't know. And listen, I'm a baseball guy, but like, I mean, for people to hold Babe Ruth on such a pedestal sometimes just blows my mind because I don't think he's one of the greatest of all time. I think he's
what
he was.
I think for that era he was.
For that era,
he was easily one of the greatest of all times.
For that time frame, yeah. But like they're
what do you
saying,
want
he's
him to
like,
do? Get in a freaking DeLorean and
Well, let me tell you something. Babe Ruth. Let me tell you something right now. Babe Ruth in 2021 is not going up to La Villa and letting Trish pour his shots and then going to play a baseball game the next day because he's going to be so hungover. And I don't care how many times he's partied. You partying, it's a lot different these days. These guys aren't doing that. Back in the whatever 20s or 1870s or whatever the hell it was, them guys could get away with that stuff. I mean, it was like, damn, go get drunk and go play some baseball the next day. We don't do that anymore. So of that era,
they had regular jobs in the off season too. I mean, it was, I don't know. Listen, I might catch a bunch of crap for it too. I don't know. I just wasn't that enamored with Babe Ruth. Like, I think, yes, he's one of the all-timers, maybe like, say, top 50 of all time. But for him to be in the top 5 of almost every category you ever see, like, I mean.
Who's the best baseball player in all time?
I mean, it's debatable. I mean, I don't know. I mean, off the top of my head, I couldn't give you somebody who I think is all time, but I don't think Babe Ruth is like up there that crazy.
Name 4 players better than Babe Ruth.
I think DiMaggio was better. I think Ted Williams was up there as well.
Are you just naming old people?
No,
Ted Williams.
Yeah, it's on me. I mean, Ted Williams has the hit streak that still nobody's gotten close to.
Lou Gehrig.
Yeah,
Hank Aaron.
Ty Cobb. Yeah, Hank Aaron, Pete Rose. I mean, go ahead. I mean, it's I don't know. I just wasn't that enamored.
Hey, you guys are talking about the best baseball players. I actually got the ugliest baseball player. You guys ready? I just scrolled down. Hold on. It says there's no way I'm going to pronounce this name right. Ezekiel Estacio. It says he's the ugliest. It says he's the ugliest baseball player ever.
I want to know.
I don't even know who this dude is.
Poor guy.
Quinn, who's the best basketball player ever?
Best basketball player ever?
Yep.
It's a loaded question. It's one of 3 people, and that's it.
I know.
Kareem, it's Michael, or LeBron. I don't care which one you pick. It's one of those 3. If you pick anybody else, you're wrong.
That's fair.
And to
I
be
think
honest,
Bill Russell has to be up there. I
you're
mean,
wrong, Paul.
the man's got 10
Oscar
rings.
Robertson?
Yeah, Robert Ory's got 5 though, Paul.
Nope. It's
Yeah,
one of
but
those
Robert
3
Ory
that's
had to
it.
bounce around to different teams to get that. Bill Russell got his 10 rings with one team.
I wouldn't disagree with Quinn. I think I'd have to agree with Quinn.
Betos.
What, Quinn? What'd you say? What?
I just heard Betos, and that
Bill
doesn't mix with
Russell,
basketball.
Russ and Betos. That's why he won 10 rings on a
Okay.
loaded team.
Hank Aaron, Mike Trout. Mike Trout?
No. Jeez, oh man.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
No.
I'm not even a baseball fan, to be honest with you. I'm not. I'm just not into it like everybody else is. If the Indians are playing in October,
Guardians.
I'll watch them. But yeah, Mike Trout, I don't know about that, bro.
I like Mike Trout as much as the next guy, but he is not.
I like him. From what I've seen, I think he's fun as hell to watch. But all time, I don't know, man.
Quinn, thoughts on Klay Thompson? This guy loves Quinn. Loves him. Quinn,
I have
thoughts
no
on
idea
Klay
who
Thompson
that
not
guy
making
is.
the All-75th team?
I feel terrible. I don't know who he is. Klay Thompson should not be on the
Klay Thompson?
5 team.
Oh yeah.
He should not be. And there's a couple others that should not be on that list, and some that should be. But that's a rant for
Who should be on it? It's Random Tuesday. We get to talk about whatever we want.
I can't hear you. Hold on.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, just fine.
I can hear you fine.
Imagine that, putting on headset.
I hate wearing this thing. I really do.
And then bring in your earbuds.
We're good.
Bill Murray. Little Space Jam.
Carter was left off. Dwight Howard was left off.
Dwight Howard does not belong on the All-75th team.
No.
Yes,
Dwight
he
Howard
does.
is. Oh, he
No.
does not.
He does
Dwight Howard?
more than Damian Lillard. He does.
What?
Yes.
Damian Lillard?
Look it up.
Oh,
No.
I don't want to look it up. The only thing I'm going to look up if I Google freaking Dwight Howard right now is how many times he changes his hair.
All right. If I give you this, Rob, you tell me if this should be on the 75 All-Star team. 8-time All-Star, 2-time block champion, 8-time All-NBA first team, Rookie of the Year, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, 5-time All-Defensive first team, NBA champion, and 5-time rebounding champion. Should that be
His stats are pretty good.
Should that be on the 75 greatest all-time?
No.
Stats are pretty good.
Damian Lillard.
All those stats that you just ripped off. I mean, if you're a fan of Dwight Howard, I guess. But if you're just the average NBA guy that watches what we used to watch it, I just don't see Dwight Howard getting over on Damian Lillard. I mean, that much I know. That's just my opinion, though. So those stats are impressive, though.
Of him since he got hurt with the Rockets. What did he do?
Oh,
with
here
Orlando?
we go. Dude, if you're injured, you're injured. Like,
Yes,
you
but
shouldn't
can't
have
play
stats.
yourself off a list because you get hurt.
Yes, you can.
His stats. So you're saying if he retired before he got hurt, he was on the list, but he's not on the list now.
No, I'm saying he wasn't on the list to begin with.
Yes, he was.
No.
Dwight Howard was arguably one of the most dominant big men in the league since Shaq retired.
In a league
Yeah,
full
but
of
was
people
he
that shoot
consistent?
three-pointers.
Yes, until he got hurt, he was very consistent
Dirk Nowitzki.
since Shaq retired. So yes, I would take Dwight on that list over Damian.
Would you take Dirk Nowitzki or Dwight
Well,
Howard?
Dirk is on the list, so
Because he deserves to be on the list.
yes, he deserves to be on that list.
Dirk. Grant
So what
Hill
are
was
they saying?
left
That's the
off, too.
top 75 basketball players of all time?
Correct.
Yeah.
You're
Which is-
telling me Dwight Howard is a top 75 of all time. Out of every basketball player of all time in the NBA,
Yes.
Dwight Howard deserves to be there?
More than some of these other ones, yes.
Give me
Ray Allen? No. Damian Lillard? No.
What? Ray Allen?
What did Ray Allen do? He hit one shot.
I think he hit more than that. Let's look at his stats.
He hit one shot.
Let's look at his stats. How many times was he in the NBA Finals?
Okay, so you're going to say that a role player on those teams.
I'm just guessing. I'm going to say 6 or 7. Is that right?
Who? Ray Allen?
Yeah.
Somewhere around
Yeah.
there.
Ray Allen, 10-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA, and 2-time NBA champion.
And Jesus Shuttlesworth.
But how many times was he in the
Miller?
finals?
I'm
Reggie
telling
Miller?
you.
Why is he on the list?
Reggie Miller?
He's the NBA all-time leader in career three-pointers. Ray
Reggie
Allen.
Miller?
Over Dwight Howard? Really?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Why? No.
Just because he was good before you were born doesn't mean that he's not good.
He wasn't that good.
Reggie
What did
Miller.
he do?
I hate Reggie Miller, and I think he's better than Dwight Howard.
Bulls? Did he beat the Bulls? No.
There
Did he beat
wasn't
the
many
Bulls?
people that did
No.
beat the Bulls.
He didn't do anything. He just shot a bunch of threes and made them.
Anthony Davis is on this list.
Big Baby?
Wait, who? Not Big Baby.
Anthony Davis.
That's Glenn Davis.
That was
Who's
Glenn.
Anthony
No.
Davis?
Anthony Davis
Anthony-
plays for Dwight.
That
The
guy's
guy-
on the list already?
Yeah, the guy with the big eyebrows. Yeah.
See, I'd put Dwight Howard in over him.
No.
8-time All-Star, 4-time All-NBA, 4-time All-Defensive Team, All-Star, 3-time block champ, 2020 champion. Anthony Davis, Mr. Bushy Eyebrows, is on
Is
this
Kyrie
list.
on the list?
No, Kyrie is not on the list.
That's fair.
I don't know, man. Reggie Miller averaged like 18 points per game his entire career. I mean, he was pretty good.
I mean, I'm just
There's guys that are on this list that shouldn't be, and there's guys. That
Reggie
are on
Miller
this
is not even 2,000, which proves he's not good.
He's not in it.
I mean, Damian Lillard, too. I don't understand why he's on this thing.
Lillard should not be on this list.
I mean, when you're scrolling through these people, like most of them are like this big to the paragraph. Lillard's like that. It's just like he played for the Trailblazers. He's an all-star. That's it.
Not on this list.
All NBA all defensive team is the equivalent of an all area team in the newspaper.
You can't say that because that's the argument for Michael Jordan as to why he's so good.
What?
He's on the All NBA first team, whatever.
Oh,
All right, Bill
okay.
Russell has 10. Don't start this argument. It's not going to – you can't argue that. Bill
Hold
Russell
on.
has 10. Why
Let
is he
me-
not the best? There you go.
Let me scroll up to Michael's thing. Averaged 30 points per game, 6 rebounds, 5 assists in all 15 seasons that he played with the Bulls. Career leader in points, 14-time All-Star, 14-time All-NBA. It does give him credit for the 2 years he spent with the Wizards, but defensive player of the year, rookie of the year, 10-time scoring champ, 3-time steals champ. Oh, by the way, 6-time NBA champion. What argument are you trying to say?
Michael
against?
should be on this list.
But I'm saying you're trying to say, oh, that's like saying that's why Michael Jordan's on there.
Defensive team.
Just because you're baby Baba whenever Michael Jordan was in the best days of his life, and all you can remember is the
Quinn,
Wizards.
Quinn, if you take off that he was a 9-time all-defensive team,
Bill Russell has 10.
listen, if you take off that he was a 9-time all-defensive team, he still is a 6-time MVP of the finals, all-star MVP, 14-time all. Take the defensive thing off there. Who cares about that?
Not one of the best ever, Paul. I'm just
Who
saying
cares?
the 6
I don't-
garbage doesn't count because Bill Russell has 10.
Why are you sitting on both wings of the plane here?
Bill Russell
Quinn?
has 10. You can't argue 6-0 is why you're the greatest. No,
How many does LeBron have?
that doesn't matter. I'm not even arguing.
How many has he
that.
lost?
I'm saying you can't argue that 6-0 is the greatest because Bill Russell has 10.
I'm sorry. Bill Russell's got 11.
Yes,
He
you're
has to
right.
put him on his
It's
toes
11.
now. He has so many.
It's 11-1. He went to 12. I think he was at 12 straight or something like that.
We're not going to get into the Jordan versus LeBron debate. We're
I'm not
not
arguing.
going to slip into that.
I'm not arguing. I'm just saying the 6-0 crap doesn't work because Bill Russell has 11.
It does work because
11.
That doesn't matter.
Why?
He
Why?
didn't do what Michael Jordan did.
And Michael didn't do what Kareem did. So what's the difference?
They were
Russell
different
Westbrook's on
positions.
this list, too.
The NBA was a big man's league until Michael Jordan took it over.
And then it went
Straight
back
up.
to Big Man's League for Shaq.
What's that?
Then it went back to Big Man's League for Shaq, Dirk, and Tim Duncan. And then another guy came along.
There was a guy named Kobe that came along.
Did
he was
win it
pretty
without
good.
Shaq?
Huh?
Did he win it without a big guy? Nope.
I believe so.
Nope.
Yes, he did.
I thought he won one. I thought he won one without him.
Nope. He
Who
won.
did he win the next
He had
one?
Gasol. He had Gasol. Another
That's
big,
not no. Stop. Just because he's tall and lanky and can reach things on the top shelf doesn't mean that he's an effective big man.
He wasn't.
Stop it.
He was.
That is the biggest bunch of garbage. Pau Gasol's a big man. Shut your stupid basketball mouth.
A big man called Kevin Garnett. So
oh my God, you make me want to throw.
Could you do me a favor? Could you do your impersonation of Quinn again?
Oh, Pau Gasol, he's a big man. He's a big. Hang on. I can't hear anybody. He's a big man. He's a big man.
Oh my God!
Did he win one without Shaq? Yeah, he did. No, it's Pau Gasol. Did he win 10? Did he win 10? No, because he won 10. No, I mean 11. I mean, shut up. Shut your mouth.
You can't argue certain things. You can't argue Michael's the greatest because he's 6-0. Bill Russell had 11. So what? They all changed the league in their own ways.
Man, could you imagine if Jordan didn't take off for baseball, though? Like, if he just stayed?
Yeah, he might
They had 8 in a row.
8 in a row, probably. Really? I mean,
yeah, because they had to
probably
beat
8
the
in a row.
Rockets.
Oh, here comes Quinn. This is always his defense.
Because he would have got kicked out of the league. He would have got kicked out. He was doing illegal sports betting. He would have been kicked out of the league.
He was, wasn't he?
David Stern didn't like him. He's going to get kicked out of the league. Let me tell you what happens if Michael Jordan gets kicked out of the league. The same thing that happens in 1985 if you kick Hulk Hogan out of the WWF. It doesn't go anywhere. The NBA dies before it dies right now. The NBA is effectively dead, dude. Because they got LeBron crushing it.
Play regardless.
What?
They had a lockout. When he was playing baseball, the NBA was in a lockout. It didn't matter.
Because they didn't have Jordan. They didn't have a guy.
I think it's plain and simple. It's just too much of a difference. It's two different eras. I mean, if you want to debate Jordan and LeBron, I mean, I said it before. I can't stand LeBron. I just think he's just a straight up dick. But in regards to depending on who you're with, because he does a lot of good things too. But I mean, it's just two different eras, But people lose their minds when it comes up. I'm watching these dudes on Facebook. You talk about the epitome of the word trolling, just because they want to, sell the idea that LeBron was better than Jordan. It's like, it's not really a big deal. First of all. Second of all, you can't. They've never played against each other. There's two totally different eras, plain and simple. Because if LeBron was playing against the Pistons in the freaking early 90s, his ass would have been on the bench half the time.
Quinn, do you just surround yourself with people who can't spell? Like, is this it? Look, Michael Jordan equals overrated. But look how he spells your name.
That's easily no. I mean, no offense to the person that just wrote it, but I don't care. That's probably the dumbest thing I've ever read in my life.
Yep.
Literally the dumbest thing. After that, like whatever that person says from here on out has no bearing. They've lost all regard to their words.
All credibility.
Their credibility is shot, not gone.
It was last week that a couple kids in here had that debate. They were like, could the Lakers and Quinn and them came in. Matter of fact, it was when we had primetime here last week. And I'll give Quinn and them credit. Quinn did say there's no way. The kid said, could today's Lakers with LeBron and all those guys go back and play against the 90s Detroit Pistons and win? And I was like, no, they couldn't. There was no way.
Are you going with the 90s rules?
The teams
are you going with today's rules?
Well, if it's today's world, they'd have a better shot at it, but no. This team can't even beat themselves.
The answer is yes.
I'm saying take this team and go back then and play, and they'd have been annihilated.
No. The only team that had a chance was that Warriors team with Durant.
Do you think MJ could take the 07 Cavs team to the finals? Yes.
No. I do not.
Why not?
Different era.
Well,
different era.
I don't think they could have. No.
07 had one stud on their team. One. I mean, if LeBron and MJ are right here, at least, I mean, we can all agree on that. They're right here, right? I mean, we can all say that. Why the hell couldn't Jordan take the 07 Cavs to the finals?
I would have loved to see the 90s Bulls take on the Golden State Warriors because I think they would have eaten them up and spit them out.
No, they couldn't match up.
Who couldn't match up?
Who's guarding Curry?
Jordan.
Who's guarding Durant?
Pippen.
Who's guarding Thompson?
Rodman.
You're going to put Rodman on guard.
Oh, Thompson.
Oh, Klay Thompson?
Who's the other dude?
Green.
Yeah, Green. Green gets Rodman.
Yeah.
Then you're in the same situation as 15 when they couldn't.
Tony
guard
Kukoc gets Thompson.
I don't think they can match up.
I mean, the NBA was so much more
you actually know
physical.
the roster. I don't think they can match up.
They're playing, and are they playing now or are they playing 90s?
I don't think they can match up.
They can't.
I just talked to somebody that actually knows the roster of the Bulls from the 90s. I've never had that conversation before. I've just read about it in a book.
They can't guard them. It's just not going to happen.
Book had a lot
They
of
would
good
guard them. They smack the crap out of them. These players, come on, man. I mean, I feel silly saying it because I'm like 5'10" myself and 240 out of weight. Some white dude talking about which better NBA team would take out the other ones. But, I mean, the way that they played in the early 90s, I mean, go back and just Google it. You're watching Bill Laimbeer just come over the middle and beat the crap out of everybody. LeBron would not get down like that. He wouldn't.
No.
He would be flopping into this 10th row.
You know what he'd
almost
be doing?
every time he touched the ball.
He'd be playing for the Dallas Cowboys, is what he'd be doing.
Yeah.
He would not be in the NBA. No chance. Quinn is getting super offended right now because I could see it on his face.
No. Whatever. They're one of 3 best players of all time. You put them wherever you want. That's it.
After last night's game, I have our updated stats for NFL.
Let's go.
Rob and Ackelson, congratulations, 8-5 for the week.
Cheers.
Siggs, myself, and Quinn all finished 7-6. DJ, you were 6-7, and Billy and Scotty finished 5-8. Even with a crappy week, Billy still has the lead over Scotty by 1 game. 56-49. Scotty's 55-50. Let's see here. Who's next? Ackelson at 53-36. Rob, you're 41-34. Quinn's 41-32. And DJ, you're 53-52.
Ah!
On the good side. And then Sigler and I both tied at 50-55. I'm terrible at picking in the NFL.
Well, it's not the NFL. Like this,
Especially against the spread.
You're picking against Vegas, too.
yeah, that's what the key is. Like if you're picking straight up, anybody can be a winner. But if you're picking against the line, that's when it gets tricky. That's why, like, this DraftKings and the fantasy stuff is so interesting to me, because you've got to there's some kind of luck that goes into that stuff.
Just watching somebody hit on a parlay that way, those bets with this team covering or this team avoiding a bad beat, watching somebody put down 1,000 and win 60 grand. I mean, I don't get down like that at all, but just watching the stories are so entertaining.
I would love, like, for us to do, hopefully Ohio passes the sports betting soon, and we can do something, from kind of like what Barstool does on that end of things, but like seeing, like, learning a little bit more, but seeing it unfold. I think I love that stuff. I absolutely.
That one guy, it was I forget when it was. It was either earlier this year or last year. I forget. Anyways, he went to Vegas. He got so drunk that he put down, I want to say it was $1,600 on a 4 parlay bet. And he woke up. He was so drunk, he woke up and didn't realize he ended up winning like $70,000. And he was drunk when he made these made these bets too.
Can you imagine how drunk he'd get after he realized he won 70 grand?
Oh.
Ann Myers with her hand up.
Maybe she's just saying hi.
Hi.
What's up, man?
If sports betting comes to Ohio, I'm screwed. I'll be broke. Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Yeah, if you have a problem. Hey, it's out there.
Yeah, I got a problem. I just bet all of my money.
Yeah.
Some of these NFL lines, though, I mean, come on. Browns were favorites against the Cardinals. Could have made a killing on that.
Spring of 22, it'll be in Ohio. We'll see. I've heard that before. It was supposed to be in Ohio by now.
Yeah.
And we talked about it last year at this time.
Well, didn't Austin Town build part of their casino for it?
There's a legislation that needs passed because you're only allowed in Ohio. You're only allowed so many casinos with tables.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, like Austintown, I'm telling you right now, man, get ready, because once that's passed and the casino gets those tables, this area is going to blow up.
Yep.
And I use this as an example. I used to work for BJ Fireworks years ago, and I used to go down to Lawrenceburg, Indiana, and that's right next to Cincinnati. And when I started going there, compared to 6 to 7 years later, after they built the Argosy Casino, which was riverboat gambling, I watched that town blow up from a 2-lane street to a 6-lane superplex with every store you can imagine. So as busy as Austintown is now, and the Boardman area is like in the 224 strip and Mahoning, watch when they get those tables in and they bring that sports betting in, this place is going to go nuts.
Listen, we already know that this area is turning quickly into a sports town first. I mean, you look at the bunker that's going in, you look at what they're doing at Mill Creek, you look at what's going up in Columbiana with athletics, you look at all these things, YSN, you look at everything. This area
Struthers Complex.
The Struthers Complex. I mean, you look at literally this area begins and ends with sports. And when sports betting becomes legalized in Ohio, Rob, you hit it right on the money. Look out, because it is going to single-handedly save the Mahoning Valley.
Oh, without a doubt.
It's
just think about how many people are now, when you hear about it, you have conversations. Oh, what's up, man? You want to go play some poker real quick? Well, you're either going to Cleveland, you're going to Pittsburgh, or you're going to Mountaineer. Those are all 1-hour drives.
Yep.
And then now you're going to have people from Cleveland, Pittsburgh, and Mountaineer coming here on top of everybody else around here in general. Then keep in mind, I'm not even talking about going west. So now you're going to have people from there. Now you're going to have people come from Columbus, things like that too. So.
Well, and I think the biggest thing is what's holding this up, as I understand, is people cannot agree on where the money goes. Like when they did the lottery years ago, the lottery went to the schools and to Elder Ohioans or something like that. But it got all caught up in how much goes to the schools and how much goes to this. That's where they're hung up again, and where the money goes. So once they figure that out, oh my goodness. And I'll be the first to admit it should go to the schools. It absolutely should go to the schools. And I'm being selfish from this standpoint because think about how much money would be invested on our network from sports betting if we were allowed to advertise sports betting during games because the money goes to the schools. Just a thought.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same argument too on the same area, I guess, a little bit with this is, they talk about legalizing certain things that Colorado has. It's $1 billion industry out there, and they're just collecting tax money left and right off it. And I mean, listen, strike while the iron's hot. Take advantage of this stuff. If you can help your state out by making sports betting legal, making something else legal that you can go out and you're going to bring in a crap ton of money into your state.
Well, you got to be careful, Paul. You have to be very careful, especially on the second one you were talking about, because once you open Pandora's box, you can't close it. And it's the same with sports betting. Once you open it, that's going to lead to some problems. But
you're gonna have problems with everything.
Sure.
There's always nothing's ever going to come in and say, here's all I know how to compare those problems. People have gambling problems. People have drinking problems. They can have drug problems. They have cheating, lying problems, whatever.
Yep.
When it comes down to it, the good, what I've seen personally in a small, desolate town, and to what they have now, the good will outweigh the bad.
I agree.
Even the second thing, when you come in, it's almost going to be, and I'm not, of course, I'm just guessing here, but I think the timing is going to be almost identical with both, the way they bring it down. So you're going to have all this new stuff that people are either going to get used to, or they're going to get hurt by it, or they're going to flourish. So you're going to have these options in every single aspect of life. So you either take the good with the bad, but in this time, in my opinion, I think the good will outweigh the bad in all two categories.
You know what I just realized? We didn't do a Would You Rather.
We didn't do one yesterday either.
Really? All right, give us a Would You Rather. I apologize to our friends over at Bear Brothers for not getting a Would You Rather.
All right, I'm not sure if we did this yet or not because I was actually trying to twist this a little bit, but even if we did, we're just going to do it. All right. Because you guys could have done this before I got here, so. But I think it's a popular one. But anyways, would you rather have all the traffic lights turn green as you approach them? All right, so would you rather have all the traffic lights turn green as you approach them, or never have to stand in line again.
Never have to stand in line again.
For anything.
Like the
For anything.
Yeah.
So you either get all green lights from here on out, or you never have to stand in line for anything.
Red lights don't bother me. And mostly because I try to be early wherever I go. But red lights also give me the opportunity to change the radio station or send a text message if I need to. let's put it that way. And things of that nature. Standing in line, like at a store, drives me crazy. Because almost, Rob, you nailed it. Because I hate being in line at the drive-thru. Is number one. If you know me, you know I hate drive-thrus. But like at a store is 1A, because like the 20 items or less, you want to see me flip a buggy, have 30 items in your cart. Please have 30 items in your cart. No, just because you have one item 17 times does not mean that counts as one item. That's baloney.
I have a TikTok of me getting somebody to leave the 20 item line because their buggy was too full. It's on my TikTok too.
I need to get down on this TikTok. I need to follow Billy Mac's instructions on TikTok. All right, Paul, how about you?
Yeah, I would definitely take not waiting in line. I mean, that's more time consuming to me than the red lights. I mean, listen, I'm used to it. You know, you catch a red light, whatever, it's not a big deal. But yeah, standing in line, I mean, the grocery store sometimes doesn't bother me that much. When we went to that concert, we stood in line because everybody's trying to get into this gate, and it's like you're standing there like, listen, come on. And like, no, if I just go right through the line, get to my seat, enjoy the concert, I'd have been happy. Instead of 45 minutes, I'm standing in line to try to get into a show. So, nope, give that to me all day long, twice on Sunday.
Quinn?
Green lights. I have a severe lead foot, so give me a green light all day long, and I will fly.
It doesn't mean you can't get pulled over.
There, green lights. I don't have to stop.
You'll see some red and blue lights too.
Yeah, might. Maybe.
Sir, you know how fast you were going to that green light? Yeah, as fast as my car would let me.
When was the last time you saw that light turn?
I knew I wasn't getting a red one.
Just think about it this way. Like I like what you said, DJ, about that. Sometimes you get a chance to do things at the red light. But could you imagine not having to pay for Cedar Point's Fast Pass and just walking in there and just going right to the front every time? What is this? What is he saying? So we could jam automatically. Yeah, that's what I do. I promise you. My car's never heard one of those sorry-ass songs in its life.
I like.
No, give me the never stay in line. I couldn't imagine that would be such a huge. Like I was talking about the other day, how you're sitting there in line. Like God forbid, now I can actually look at the cashier and be like, "Hey, I don't have to stay in this line, so you don't have to talk to that person anymore. Let's just get on with our ways."
You're at a sporting event. You don't have to wait to get a beer or anything. You know, you just
beer, pee, go right into the bathroom.
I would love to just be behind Rob in a line where he's yelling at some old Betty in front of him because she's got 21 items in the cart.
I'm like you. If you go in that
food back,
if you go in that line,
you gotta go back.
No, listen, if I'm in a good mood, I probably won't say anything. But if I'm in a crap mood, like I'm in a hurry, God forbid if I'm behind you, because if there's a difference, like if it's 25, I ain't going to say shit, whatever. But if it's like 40, this is me. Hold on. Are you kidding me? I said, hey, you've seen this sign. We all know what you're doing. I said, you're tripled up over here, lady. Go take your big ass back into the self-checkout where you belong and let me get through with my 12 items.
I can see you standing right behind this person going, 1, 2, 3, 4.
God help me if you get to 25, lady.
I did a pretend cough and be like, that's 40. Holy 50 items. Holy 60 items. Everybody get out.
Stand by. Here we go. A little back end, would you rather, leads us to our Joe Dickey Electric What's Your Spark? Brought to you by our friends at Joe Dickey Electric. Anything commercial, residential, anything electrical, you have to go to the official electric supplier of YSN. They bring the charge to us. You go to DickeyElectric.com. Paul Munson, what is your spark?
My spark is it's a positive one. It's starting to get a little more fall weather like out there, and I like some of the attire that I get to wear now a little more. I still like shorts and t-shirts, don't get me wrong, but sweaters and long sleeve shirts and stocking hats, covers up this a little better. So I'm ready for some fall like weather, and I'm excited for it. So, and I mean, it's playoff football. It's ready to go. Week 1.
Scary. Quinn?
So I got a positive and a negative. I'll start with the positive. It's the same as Will's right there. Sheba's going to the moon, and that's all I care about. Another crypto for myself. DJ, look into that. And a negative is, I've kept it under wraps for a couple days now on this 75-person NBA team, and you guys brought it out on me, and I'm furious about it because the people who vote on it are completely stupid. You can't leave off Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter, Dwight Howard, Bernard King, and you put in Damian Lillard and Reggie Miller and Ray Allen.
Yes, I would like Dwight Howard on the 75th anniversary basketball team because he's really tall and he won a slam dunk contest. That's enough.
It's a joke. Bernard
I
King.
can agree with Quinn. If they left off Vince Carter, I'm with Quinn on this one.
Yeah, they left off Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady.
Yeah, that's great.
Bernard King should be on before half.
Bernard King, I mean, geez,
you know who didn't leave off Vince Carter? Any NBA team, because he's played for them all.
And he was good for them all.
He was good for the Hawks.
Yes. Brought in people, made money.
Shut up.
Wanted to watch that garbage.
Shut up.
That team was trash, and he
you have worse credit right now than a homeless guy in Brooklyn.
Should Vince Carter be on the 75 list or no?
Yeah, but not because
he brought $75 tickets into the NBA his final year in Atlanta.
Hawks. Everybody knows he was dominant with the Raptors, and with the Nets, nobody wanted to play him.
I think
that's why he should be on the list. Dwight Howard should be on the list for Orlando.
Quinn, you're getting being good mixed up with the Golden Buckeye card. Just because you live long enough to see one doesn't mean you deserve one.
They're good. They're better than the other guys on that list.
Goodness gracious. All right, Rob, take us.
Just a reminder, if that person that cut you off or, gave you a nasty look or a gesture, the thing is, you just have no idea what that person's going through. You have no idea how their day's going. Just forget it, let it go, and try and be kind to one another.
I wasn't going to do this, but my dog, I love my dog. Boomer's my dog. We've had him for, I want to say, going on 12 years.
Is that the crazy runaway?
Nope, it's the other one, the normal one.
Okay.
Thanks, Paul.
We think he's getting. We think he is getting old in age. We're not sure if there's something wrong with him. We're going to take him probably to the vet here soon and get him checked out. But yesterday he just rolls up on me in my basement while I'm trying to do some stuff on the network, and I just start hearing this water running. Dude just taking a pee right next to me, and I just look at him. I'm like, "Are you serious?" And he just looks dead in my eye, like I'm doing something wrong. And he just
you interrupted his pee.
Yeah, dude's just letting it fly, letting it go, and he just looks at me and like, hey, this is happening right now, man, whether you like it or not. And he pissed about enough to fill up a 2-gallon jug, and then I gotta I hate cleaning up piss because it's the worst. Dog pee and cat pee are the worst smells in the world. Urine is
easily
awful. And then you're holding a giant towel full of urine, and it's all over you. And then you're smelling it for 3 hours later because it's ingrained in your nose somewhere. So thanks, Boomer, you jackass. That is my negative spark for the day. Even though I love him so much. But also a positive spark. I got to interview Coach Harris of the West Branch Warriors and Coach Hake. You want to talk about two ends of the spectrum. The guy jumping off a wall, bouncing off of walls, and the guy that is basically you would listen to if he told you that you had diabetes and he was your doctor. Coach Harris, if he told you something was wrong with you, you'd go get it figured out. Make sure you tune into that tomorrow. We'll have that right here on YSN. Another great Coach's Corner live from Koof Leitner, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Anything for the good of the order, gentlemen?
Hey, more football this week. We haven't even touched on our
999.
matchups yet. So
Is Ohio State doing a blackout this week?
Is it the red
For
out?
Penn-
I
Is it-
believe
well-
it's something like that. I think it's the blackout this week.
It should be a blackout if they're playing Penn State.
I think it's a blackout this week.
Oh, hell, I can't wait for that.
When are they doing the red out? Or the scarlet out, or whatever they were going to call it.
I think it's later this year when they play Michigan State. Maybe
That's going to be interesting because they look a lot like Wisconsin when they have those on. So keep that in mind. Make sure you tune in to YSN. Beaver Local in action tonight. I will have the call for you leaving right now to get there. Make sure you tune in. That game starts at 6:30. So they backed it up just a little bit. And again, a little bit of sports on the network in a kind of a dull period. One of those situations as we head into playoffs. And don't forget to vote for your Big Dogs of the Year on ysnlive.com/Big Dogs. For Paul Munson, for Rob Mush, and for Quinn Pushkar, I'm DJ Yoakley saying we'll see you tomorrow, 3 to 4, right here on the Power Hour.